Hello, everybody. Here we are on Christmas Day. We're in our Christmas stuff. We watched season 7, episode 13 today, which is Two Bad Neighbors. And I'm really glad that just got on video because that was pretty great.
We got one ornery cat and two bad neighbors
to talk about. Apparently, Vera is very fascinated by these, so that's what's happening at the moment. And did you want to tell the audience a little bit about what this episode is?
So, as Gail said, we are recording this on Christmas Day, though you will likely be seeing it a little bit after Christmas Day. And we are doing a non-Christmas episode because we are just continuing our season 7 string. And we got Two Bad Neighbors. And this is the episode where former President George Bush, the first George Bush president, shows up and he wants to live in Springfield because it has the lowest voter turnout and they just want to blend in and not be political. But do you think Homer gets along with the former President George Bush?
Wow, a former president living right across the street.
Oh, why did he have to move in on my territory? Look at him. Thinks just because he led the free world he can act like a big shot.
Not so much.
He was a little bit bummed out that there were new neighbors moving in across the street. They kind of stole his thunder while they were having their annual rummage sale because everybody who was shopping got bored with Homer's shenanigans to watch the new neighbors moving in.
Yeah, high-profile people.
Yeah. So that kind of started it all.
Yeah, and then Homer just keeps amping it up with a little help from Bart. They start pulling pranks.
Dennis the Menace style.
Pretty sure you don't want to mess with the actual president with the Secret Service and stuff there. That's probably not a good plan.
No, not at all.
But it's some silly stuff, a little political satire in this one, and it's fun. So we're going to do our thing and kick it off with lines. Why don't you give me your first line?
My first line. So they were talking about the Bush family moving in across the street, and Homer was really bummed, and who voted for him, and Lisa said that she wouldn't vote for him, and then Homer wanted to know who did, and then he said, I voted for Prell to go back to their old glass bottle. After that, I became deeply cynical. So he didn't vote past that from Prell, changing from glass to plastic, which was way before this episode or before Bush's first and only term. So
that's correct. Yeah. So my line's a Homer one too, and it's of course he's jealous of everyone giving George Bush all his attention. And he's sitting on a hammock, and people are running by. Bush is running, and then all the neighborhood people are running with him. And
Lenny was there.
Yeah, and Homer's like, yeah, a bunch of suck ups, whatever. And then Santa's a little helper. Throw a little Christmassy thing in there. Santa's a little helper. Chase starts running after him.
Yep.
And then Homer's line is, I guess you say he's barking up the wrong bush. But then it cuts to him thinking, and he's like, there you go, Homer. Cleverest thing you've ever said, and no one was here to hear it.
That's a good one.
So that was fun. What do you got for 2?
Oh, man, I only have 1 minute to order those breakfast balls. That was Homer again. A double quote Homer episode for me. That's rare. Anyway, he pulled into Krusty Burger drive-up window, and Bush was in front of him with the Secret Service, and he didn't know what to get, and he wasn't familiar at all with Krusty Burger, and he didn't think Krusty Burger sounded that good, and he wanted stew, which they don't have. And so Homer was bummed because he waited until literally the last minute that he could get breakfast at Krusty Burger, and he was not going to fulfill that wish.
Nope. Well, my second line was from that very same scene. It's also a Homer line, so I did 2 Homer lines this one too, because Homer's packed full of them today.
Uh-huh.
And so while he's there getting annoyed with Bush, he's honking his horn, honk, honk, honk. Well, the Secret Service guy gets out of there, Sir Pop Your Hood. He uses a screwdriver and breaks Homer's horn. And Homer says, "Hey, my tax dollars paid for that horn."
Homer.
Why are your tax dollars paying for it?
Clearly, Homer is silly.
Oh, man, fun stuff. All right, takes us in the scene. What's your scene?
What's my scene? What is my scene? Well, I'm gonna have to go with a garage sale scene. I do like the very last scene of this episode, but I'm going with the garage sale scene because Flanders has like a microphone speaker attached to himself, like he's wearing it on a over the shoulder
strap. Yeah.
And he's got this microphone and he's trying to get people to buy at this rummage sale, and there's a lady that has a candy dish, Ned, $90. Well, you could put other things in there. Nope, just candy.
$90.
So, people weren't really buying until Homer took over, and it's just funny.
I love how Wiggum whipped out the old Casio, and he's like, dee, 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 dee. Homer got some selling chops in there. He missed his calling.
I know.
He probably could have been a rummage sale host somewhere.
Hey, big spender. He
Yeah.
could have been taking that all across Springfield at least. Other neighborhoods.
Yeah.
He missed out.
Yeah, got the showmanship chops.
What about you?
All right, so I'm going to go into, toward the end of the episode when all this shenanigans with George Bush comes to a head, and Bush just is sick and tired of Homer and starts turfing his yard. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he's turfing that yard big time. He's got the SUV or whatever, and he's just throwing mud all over their house and everything like that. And so Homer and Bart decide that they're going to not let that stand, so they climb into the sewers to go under the house, and they got a box of locusts. And Homer says, "This is biblical. The Jokester's Bible," or something like that.
It's getting straight from God.
Yeah. But Bush just deciding he's done, and he's going to just go in there and turf that yard up, and then it just culminates in a fight between them.
Yep.
And that's a pretty epic beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
But I do give props to Bush because he's like, "Here's something we learned in CIA," and pulls out a garrote, because he was the former director of the CIA. Yes. So it's kind of a joke. But yeah, I don't know, all that leading up to that just knockdown, drag out between Homer and Bush. Funny stuff.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Homer and Bart seemed to know that sewer was going to take them directly over underneath that big fancy house, even though Homer didn't ever notice that house.
He acted like he was surprised this big mansion was across the street all the time he lived there. But yeah, I guess he figured out there was a way over there.
Yep.
All right, takes us in the winners and losers. How do you want to do that?
Who's your winner?
My winner is Apu. Is at the beginning of the episode, Homer and Bart are walking around with flyers for the rummage sale, and there's Apu. He's watching a firebird, and he's singing along to songs, and he just looks like he's doing well for himself.
Having a good time, yeah.
He's got a firebird, and he didn't have to go to work, you know, because the squishy machine was down. He seemed to be having like a chill day off, just in a good mood. So Apu's my man. What do you got?
So my winner comes from that moment too, because the squishy machine is off. The squishy
I know
machine
who you're gonna
has
say.
filled the entire Quickie Mart, and so my winner is dun dun dun.
Jimbo?
Yes. Jimbo is my winner because they're trying to fix the squishy machine. Jimbo just swims right in through the squishy and ends up getting some free groceries.
In the form of libations.
Yes, he got some beer out of the beer
Duffs.
cooler. Took the duffs away, and that was pretty good. So
All right.
that's what I went for.
Yep, that's good.
And what
good
about
scene.
your loser?
My loser is Skinner, because during the rummage sale, Skinner's asking Marge about this motorized tie rack, and he kind of talks himself out of getting it, but not before Marge pops the motor out to show him that he doesn't have to have a motor in it, because he
Right.
was kind of griping about that. Well, later when Homer's doing it, he ends up wanting to buy the motor back after he came and bought the rack from Marge. So he could have gotten it all in one sale, probably cheaper. Instead, he had to buy two different things, and I likely paid more.
Yeah.
And I just think that was kind of dumb of him.
Well, I thought it was
And-
dumb of him, and I also thought it was dumb of Marge for not giving him the motor too. You know, because it was all part of the same machine, and one wasn't going to work without the you know, you can't just buy a tie motor and put it in any old tie rack. I wouldn't think.
I wouldn't think it'd be interchangeable.
So it was basically trash at that
Right.
point. And, who knows? But
Who knows?
anyway, it also went along with Homer being such a great salesperson, because who knows if that motor actually is going to work in the machine once Skinner gets it. But he was waving some dollar bills.
Yeah, he's like, I'll take that.
Some dollar bills there.
But
so
I think he way overpaid for two
both
things
pieces, yes.
when he could have had it all in one shot. So, there you go. What do you got for loser?
Well, I actually went with Bush for my loser only because of the clown hair. Like, it was a rough episode for sure because of the Dennis the Menace stuff with Bart and just that whole issue with Homer and whatnot, but it was the clown hair that did me in, because you know how I feel about clowns. Everybody, I don't like clowns.
She's not a clown fan. No.
So, you know, they pranked him by squeezing some glue on his head and then planting a rainbow clown wig onto him. And then he had a presentation he was giving, so he at least cut it down to make it look like normal hair, but he did a presentation, very conservative presentation with rainbow hair. So just because of the clown wig, he's my loser this episode.
Yep. Good stuff.
I also feel like I'm just gonna give a shout out to Disco Stew, and
Table five.
I feel like he could be a collective loser for this episode too, because they should have just given him that jacket.
Yeah, he missed out on a.
He didn't want it because Stu doesn't advertise. But
Come on, it was tailor made for him, literally.
absolutely. So that was that. The only other thing I wanted to point out with this episode was when Marge sends Homer out with the rummage sale flyers, he actually put one on his own vehicle, which I thought was really funny.
Walks by his own car and puts
Yeah.
one, even though there's a hole in the stack of them.
Yeah. What about you?
Just it was like, again, a political satire. I'm not a very big political guy.
Nope.
At all. So I have no thing to say about that. However, it was good, just all around, just funny from a joke standpoint. So yeah, I liked it. It was good.
All right. Well, that's it for us. This is a rare 2-cat sighting that they came in on their own today and everything. So
yeah, we didn't even have to force them to be on the video.
Apparently, they are really interested in these Christmas
Yeah,
headbands that
they've
we have
been
going
sitting
on.
in a box for a year, and
Yep.
they must be like a novelty to them. So
Fascinating. So that's it for season 7, episode 13, Two Bad Neighbors. Give this episode a watch. Please feel free to share your favorites, your comments, and all the things below. Give us a thumbs up if you like this episode. Be sure to subscribe for future episodes and follow our channel. We have been reviewing The Simpsons episodes for quite some time now, and we have plenty more to discuss. So until next time,
Jiminy
Jillikers.
Jillikers, Happy New Year.
I'm gonna fix their wagon good. I pulled some pranks in my time.
I don't understand. Are you saying you and Barbara are bad neighbors?
No, that's not Bar and me, it's them. Who? Maud and me? No, the man and his boy. You know, the boy is named Bart. I don't know the name of the man. Bar? What's the name of the man?
I'm not getting involved, George.
Look, just never mind. I thought the banner was pretty straightforward, but guess I'll just take it down.